ashes dropping down, we step aside. I'll run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, we step aside. Smoke is scanning to the sky. You can't believe your senses. You think you've seen it all until you open your eyes. I never wanna be alone. This place is cursed. I want you to never leave my side. I run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, we step aside. We dream of feeling something. I want you. I know we both escape to lose the ground. The world we used to know is burning down. We're always strong enough to build our own. We've been running for ages to search some light. I want you. I know we both escape to lose the ground. We've been running for ages to search some light. We can feel every day after running for nights. We feel so alive. I run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down, we step aside. I run away with you to see some light. When ashes dropping down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another night of Rocket League. It is your CIU Rams Gold team that is going to be coming up tonight for their second game in the playoffs. And this is going to be against Tiffin University, which we have seen before. Glitch, what can we expect for this?
Yeah, I mean, tonight's going to be a grueler of a match. If it's anything like last week was, Tiffin, what I consider is the number one seed in this playoff season. They are firing on all cylinders. But last week was a great win against CCM for the Golden Rams. As I'm moving on, like you said, this week it's win or go home against Tiffin. We did play Tiffin earlier in the season, and it wasn't close by any means. CIU was swept 3-0, and the goal differential for that series was 15-3 in favor of Tiffin. Now, I'm saying all this to reiterate that last week we saw a much different CIU team. They were against CCM, and they were dominant against a team that beat them earlier in the season. They'll need to keep the momentum going to move on to the next round, but I'm excited to see what CIU has up their sleeves tonight.
Absolutely. And they are joining the lobby as we speak. So we're going to see some Rocket League kick off pretty soon. Seems like they're waiting for maybe one other player And here we go.
Yeah,
The
we're
time
in there.
starts now.
We're in there. No keys to the match or anything. We'll kind of go over those later. But Tiffin, a team that plays Rocket League the way it should be played, textbook team. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm very eager and excited to see what CIU has been working on all week. What a great win it was against CCM. I do have a few things that CIU will need to focus on tonight, but we can get into those later on in the series. It is a best of 7, so got plenty of time to focus on all that good stuff.
Yep, right now we're going to focus on the gold that just happened on CIU. Tiffin got one shot, bounced off, and had to follow up. And this is after an aggressive push. We saw demos starting early for both sides and lots of early chows. So CIU setting it up, trying to get a bumper demo in front of goal, leaving a pretty open net on the cross. Oh, follow-up just isn't quite there. And it's up to Timex on the stop. Gingy behind him and Casey behind him.
Yeah, so my first kind of point for tonight is CIU needs to kind of recognize that defense wins championships, and they need to play like it tonight. I think against Tiffin earlier in the season, they had no real defensive identity. Their defense was kind of all over the place, and that was where a majority of the mistakes were against CCM last week. So they're definitely going to need to clean that stuff up if they're going to beat a much better team going into this week. So that's point number 1.
Well, point number 1 in the game has already happened, but since then, nothing else has gone in as CIU stopped in advance currently and is working on stopping another. One man up, Gingy getting the touch and 2 touches. Casey into the corner with Timex on the follow. They just can't seem to get it quite across the halfway mark just yet. But as they rotate back on defense again, we will wait and see if they can stop one goal and then turn that into offense. They do not, as Casey gets a little awkward on the wall off a bounce.
Yeah, so that's 2 times Casey's kind of put his team in an awkward situation, and it hasn't ended well. First one was the unfortunate double tap that led to the first goal, and then getting awkward on the front post there. So definitely need to wake up now if you're CIU. They can't let this deficit become inescapable, and that was my second point of the night. We saw when they played against Tiffin, they were losing games 7-1, 7-2, and it seemed like there was no end in sight. So they're definitely going to have to wake up now. It is a best of 7 series. They're going to have time, but they're going to have to wake up now and get going.
Well, great shot on goal by Gingy from midfield, allowing an offensive presence from CIU that we haven't seen much of yet as they do transition back to defense. But I will say, Glitch, I have seen more bumps and disruptions by this CIU team in this matchup so far than the last time.
Yeah, that's definitely something they've gotten from their VOD, from their tape, their film sessions. That's what Tiffin was doing all the time when they played first, and I think it's a little bit of have some of your own medicine for CIU. So yeah, that's definitely strategy going forward.
The double in front of CIU's goal does not lead to any bad consequences, but they are still on defense as they are trying to clear this ball, and a pass upfield gets stopped again, and Tiffin is just cutting everything short.
Yeah,
that's time X is the one man on D. Sorry.
That's one thing about Tiffin is that every single touch, and I'm not exaggerating, every single touch has a plan to it. And it's so hard to beat a team that can play like that. So far CIU, they're weathering their storms. It's only 2-0. Plenty of time, even though it's a minute 15, plenty of time left in this one to get a goal back, as long as they're getting shots on goal.
Ball is up in front of CIU's goal and no one was there. Gingy tried to get in on it, but ended up flipping, not touching the ball. Casey missed on front post. Open net for Tiffin, 3-0 with just over a minute left.
Yeah. I mean, 3 mistakes leads to 3 goals. That math adds up. So definitely need to clean it up going into the rest of this game and potentially game 2. So let's see what CIU's got up their sleeves. A good shot on goal from there from Timex, and it makes it 3-1 with 51 seconds left.
Timex, the one man on offense, as Casey went for the bump and did clear the goal. Gingy with the follow-up as well, so had that not gone in, still probably would have gone in for Gingy. So 51 seconds left, 3-1. CIU's not out of it, but they need another goal quickly. Right now working into the corner. 2 teammates getting a touch, and then Casey, oh my goodness, gets stopped as he put one on goal. 25 seconds left, and CIU needs to get a clear here and get a shot on goal.
Gingy had something going, but was been unfortunately bumped out of his possession.
10 seconds. At this point, you want to see what CIU is made of. See if they can rally, get some momentum going into the second game.
There has definitely been a momentum swing. I think CIU getting that last goal shows that they're coming to play. They have some life. They've woken up a little bit. And that first 2 minutes, I mean, other than the 2 mistakes there at the back, it was a pretty even game. So move on to game 2, and I think there's a lot that they can fix, and they'll be the team making adjustments. But it's going to happen quick. I think they're going to have to win this game 2 if they're going to end up winning the series, and that's just how good of a team that Tiffin is. So I'm just eager. I think CIU has a lot to offer in this series, and we don't want to see them kind of come up short. Whether that's, even if they do lose, we want to see them go out swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I'm encouraged that the score was as close as it was versus the last time they matched up. So you can tell CIU does have a little bit more life and strategy in them. They're definitely not going to be out of this one.
I think it also shows just like how from a week-to-week standpoint that like you get better as a team throughout the season. Like these guys aren't going in 100% every single game. They have to get better throughout each week, and that's exactly what they've done. That's the reason they're in playoffs. They earn their spot, and yeah, we're seeing a much better CIU team right now.
A couple of nice stops in front of goal by Timex and Gingy, allowing CIU to set up on offense. The pass is in. Gingy couldn't quite seal the deal as the defender was there, but a great passing shot nonetheless. Ball does creep behind the Tiffin defense, so this is a chance for CIU to make something happen. And they're staying at midfield now, trying to keep the ball onto the offensive side of the field.
Oh, great shot on goal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right now it's just a tug of war. I'd say the flag is a little bit on CIU's side. They're winning the battle, but not with stuff like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they
fast break from Casey. Setting up the shot.
Come in. Switch on.
Waiting on the defense. Timex does get demoed at midfield, making the CIU players down 1. But Casey takes the ball from the defender.
Let's go, dude.
Good stop by Gingy to set this up. Casey recognizing the situation, making the most of it. 1-0.
Yeah. So now it's with 3 minutes, 15 seconds left. You're focusing on getting another goal. That's all you're focused on if you're CIU. Do what you can to get another goal. But we got to remember what point 1 was, and that was defense wins championships. So it's got to be just a collective effort from the boys right now.
3 minutes left as Casey pushes up the right side, and Gingy did get demoed. It's up to Timex to stop this ball, and he does.
Yeah, great adjustment there from Timex. Instead of going for the ball, he just gets his angle, and he picks the right angle and makes a great defensive play.
Meanwhile, on offense, Gingy putting pressure by himself against Tiffin. Casey now following up with Timex, playing conservatively at the midline, moving up now as they transition back to D. Just kidding. Gingy gets a touch and a demo. CIU definitely working the ball around one.
Yeah, and I was just about to say there's been definitely an adjustment on defense for CIU. Oh, great demo. Oh, man. There's been a huge adjustment on defense. They're going a 1-1-1, so they're having that guy in the middle. They're not letting Tiffin work with any space. So even if Tiffin has a good touch on the ball, they're playing defense first, kind of Rocket League, and setting up that counterattack for the front man. Great Rocket League, a great game plan. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Demo by Gingy as he gets up in the air to chow the ball to prevent the air dribble. And then Casey pushing up the left side of the field with his team following behind him. Great cross in front of goal. It gets over the defender, but a second one gets the stop. CIU stalling slightly on offense, trying to get some cuts. 2 misses.
Yeah.
And then it ends up with a goal by Tiffin.
Yeah, and that is the downside of playing that 1-1-1 game plan, is if 2 people get beat, it's basically a 3-on-1 if the offense is playing it right, and they did. Good piece of individual skill, gets past 2 guys, and all the other guy has to do is just sit and watch. But a minute left, 1-1. Let's see if CIU can get out of their end and get some shots on goal.
Time X did get the stop, and Casey clearing the ball out as it was a little treacherous, but they're still on offense now, pushing forward, waiting for the right time to strike, waiting for the right ball placement to get a good pass across. Meanwhile, Time X playing some defense in front of his own net. Ooh, Casey, great save as it was about to slow roll in, escorted by the Tiffin players.
Yeah, and I think this is why Tiffin is such a strong team. Every single touch they have is just so proactive. It's setting every single person up on their team, setting them up for success, and it's so hard to beat when a team does that.
Shout out to Time X on that great save during your analysis as well. Gingy did get demoed, and they will go into overtime 1-1. First goal wins.
Yep. Oh, we got a
off the top bar. They do have a follow-up though. CIU has a follow-up on defense and a clear. Now a chance to break up the right side into the mid. And now onto the left side with Casey getting a first touch. And an open net. All 3 guys were forward on defense. On offense.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. I mean, you want to go and win at 50-50, but there, if you lose it, it's an open net. And then no one was really rotating back, so kind of confusing there for CIU, confusing moments. I think just kind of caught in between 2 decisions. And I mean, it looks like they're ready to go. That was probably the quickest ready up I've ever seen. Yeah, I think they want to make up for it. This game, going into game 3, Tiffin has a 2-0 lead in the series. CIU's got to wake up now. That was their make or break game, as I said. Now the job just got a little bit harder.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that these guys do take a little bit of time to warm up, and this game was a lot closer even than the last. So going into game 3, it's encouraging, but you kind of want to be like, all right, guys, like, this is it. Like, all or nothing on this one, because once you go 3-0, it's going to be really hard to make up from that. Not impossible. Right. It is a 7-game series, so you never know. But this is sort of a defining game.
Yeah, 100%. And they're like with any sports game, whether it's soccer, football, any team game, there's only so many adjustments you can make. Every time you lose in a series, you're trying to make adjustments of how you can be better, but again, there's only so many you can make. And that's a great adjustment. Just go at them, bro. 1-0 early on, 15 seconds have gone off the clock. What a great start to game 3.
I want to just point out also the teamwork between Casey and Gingy both going for that ball. Clear communication as Casey peeled out and Gingy took that shot. So good job not doubling on that shot as Time X pushes up the right side, and one Tiffin player did get bumped on CIU side of the field, causing late rotations. So CIU putting in some work.
Yeah. If I'm CIU, one kind of adjustment I'm going to make is Tiffin is thriving off winning the 50-50s.
Fast break potential coming up. Ball is idling in front of Tiffin goal, and then it's up to Time X to stall this push, and he does.
So Tiffin is thriving off those 50-50s. And if I'm CIU, I'm going to try and limit those 50-50s. Let Tiffin go win the first ball, and then you focus on winning that second ball, countering while they're still in the air. It's an adjustment. It could pay off. Just something that I would like to see them do and see if it works out.
Ball's lingering. Casey had a chance at it with a defender, deflecting it. Time X does not get the early cut, and Gingy does get demoed in front of goal, but the pass does not connect, and a fast break from Time X.
Oh.
He has an open net. He just has to finish. He's done.
Bro, he was focused. He had the blinders on. He said, "I gotta get this in." Almost.
Shout out to Gingy. Gingy running interference for him. He was the go-between between Time X and Crib.
Great way to extend your lead if you're CIU. They made a little bit of adjustment on offense. They're just going aggressive, and they're being the first one to the ball, not letting Tiffin react. It's exactly what you want to see. Probably kind of caught Tiffin off guard a little bit. 2-0 lead gives them a nice little cushion. Let's see if they can make the most of it.
Couple demos being traded by both teams, sort of allowing for a reset on both sides. As CIU pushes up, the chow by Gingy leaves the ball in front of goal. Time X does miss on defense, but he's ready for the pass, but it doesn't quite get to him.
Nice.
Great stop by Gingy off the top bar.
And an uncredited save there for Casey. That shot was going to go near post, and Casey cut off the angle. So far, so good. Get this ball clear, and you're feeling a little bit better.
Gingy first bumping, then stopping the ball on the wall. Doing it all on defense. Time X does get demoed, so they're a man down, but Gingy steps up on front post as Time X is back in and touching the ball again.
Oh.
A little bit of a double fake. Good job by Gingy to stop in a 2v1 situation. But nonetheless, Crib does get the score for Tiffin.
So if we were to wind that back 30 more seconds, we're seeing Tiffin is winning every single ball where it's contested by both teams. Every single one. They're so good at it. And sooner or later, CIU just needs to start playing position instead of playing for that ball. I know that it's so hard to do that. Just like there, man. Like, Tiffin hacks the ball. Like, go play position.
Credit to Tiffin. There's a good shot on goal to cause CIU to just have to react versus be proactive on defense.
Good save there. Okay.
Yeah, good save by Casey.
So in the blink of an eye, it's 2-2. They had that 2-goal cushion. Tiffin flipped a switch. See if CIU can be the aggressor now. They look like they have a 3-man advantage. A great stop from Tiffin. It's just stuff that you can't teach.
Double off the top bar does not go through as Casey gets a clear and then follows it up. Trying to get some bumps around the Tiffin goal. Now he transfers back to defense and gets this save. Timex back from being demoed. Just in time, he's front post. Casey behind him. Ball is up in front of goal. Not a great clear by Casey. Genji was there, but it was a dart right over his car. (3-2) with 37 seconds left. CIU needs to get a shot on goal in these next 30 seconds. (20 seconds left. A trade of demos while CIU plays defense.
Going to need a tune-up after that.
That one hurts.
All right, so game 3 goes to Tiffin.
Yeah, I just kind of took a step back, just trying to analyze everything that was going on, and I think CIU just is. I think they're trying to overcomplicate things, and when it's just trying to think of the words to say, because it does seem kind of like they're just overcomplicating things, and you just got to simplify the game. I think that's where they're at this point. This is game point, match point for Tiffin, and I think if CIU has any chance, they're just gonna have to go back to their roots, play that counter-attacking style of Rocket League. They had a 2-0 and they had a 2-0 lead, and I think that's why it hurt so much for CIU on that one. They had a 2-0 lead going into that and eventually lost it. But never say die for CIU. Never say die. See if they can get it back and get going.
So far, we've seen CIU mostly in control on offense as they transfer back to defense. Time X getting a great cut, setting it up on the wall. Can he push it forward? He does get a shot on goal off the sidebar, setting his teammates up to get more touches. The follow-ups just don't quite connect. And they are back to defense as Time X gets a demo.
There we go. Just to get the aggressiveness up if you're CIU. Nothing to lose at this point. Go win the game and do it with your talent. Great shot there from Time X.
Oh, the finish isn't there.
Oh my gosh,
the
bro.
follow-up doesn't go in. CIU has to be frustrated from that.
Yeah, a little bit. I am. But they're doing a good job. They're getting the ball in dangerous situations. I think they just got to keep it dangerous.
Rib for Tiffin does get a shot from a tight angle off the right side of CIU's post.
And the reason that's so frustrating is because you've had two times where the ball has been halfway in the goal, and then for CIU, and on the other end, Tiffin just has a clear shot on, and it just goes in. So doesn't look like the ball is bouncing CIU's way, but it doesn't mean to give up. You got to go and make it bounce your way.
Just over 3 minutes left as CIU's trying to get shots on goal. You see Genji, I think, was going for the bump or demo of the defender. He couldn't quite get there in time. Casey scrapping in the corner, does get the ball out momentarily. Misses on the follow through, but Time X is there centering the ball. Casey trying to go for a bump, couldn't quite get it. I think I'm starting to see a little bit of angst in these guys' gameplay.
Yeah.
They clearly want to try to make pathways to get shots on goal.
Yeah. And all Tiffin has to do is sit back, and I don't think, I mean, they're definitely not going to let any shots come on goal easily. I mean, one guy takes two guys out, and that's just all based on positioning. So right now, Tiffin's winning the game purely based on positioning. You're going to have to do that, more of that if you're CIU. Timex goes and gets a demo and gives the man advantage. Go and make a difference in the game.
Off the top bar, it lingers for a second, but eventually does go in as Crib gets his second goal for Tiffin, making it 2-0 with just over 2 minutes left. Off the kickoff, we see the ball lingering a little bit in CIU territory. Gingy does get a demo, and so they're using that to press forward all three up, and then all three back on D. And then the shot does get in off right under the top bar from outer space for Tiffin.
Yeah, I think CIU, I mean, a 3-0 loss is the same as a 2-0 loss. Like, a loss is a loss at this point. You know, like, there's no real, like, organization in their defense. I think they're just focused on getting the ball forward. But it just seems like they're hesitating to get the ball forward as well. So
Gingy did put a nice shot on goal,
Yeah.
but he hit the sidebar. His teammates were there for the follow, but it couldn't quite get through past the defenders. And then that one does off the top bar, outer space, getting that goal. And we saw there a double chow on defense. 127 left. CIU just needs to get a goal.
I'd go
from there.
Yeah, I'd go for a shot on goal. Like, make Tiffin sweat a little bit if you can. Let's see if it could just go in. I mean, two demos right there.
Casey back in time, but couldn't get the stop as Crib gets another goal.
So 1 minute 5 seconds left with 5-0. This is the game point. A quick reminder, after the game we are going to have an interview with CIU Golden Ram. I think it might be Gingy. He will be our interviewee. So stick around for that. And then don't forget that the blue team will be kicking off their first match of playoffs. They had a first round bye. They'll be kicking off at 8:30 p.m. So be sure to stick around. Plenty of Rocket League left to be played tonight. So you'll have a brief break. We'll be right back at it.
Now we will, as we were talking, they did get their 6th goal of this game with 28 seconds left. So these guys, at this point, I don't think you're going to win the game. So it's really, how do you want to go out knowing that these guys are seniors? Getting a point on the board in the second round of playoffs in this game would be a nice touch.
Yeah, and I think if we're just gonna break this down, I don't see anybody in Playoff Live beating Tiffin. I think it's just pretty simple as that. Great shot from Gingy. Oh my gosh. I don't think he knew much about that. I think he just wanted to hit it. He did so well.
He was setting up time X. It just happened to be too good.
Yeah.
Too good of a pass.
So, I mean, Tiffin's a very talented team. No one really in the country is going to be able to beat them, I don't think. So, yeah. So that's going to do it for CIU's season. It's going to do it for the OGs. What What a win last week, though. Truly historic win to get them in this situation to go against the number one seed, overall seed. And I mean, the first 3 games they did hold their own, and I think game 4, hey, happens to the best of us. They wanted to try a few new things, and I think right there on our screen we kind of saw the defining moment. The ball is barely over the line twice and doesn't go in, and I think that was kind of the moment where it really just kind of twisted things on its head. So yeah, it's sad to see it happen, but not all good things can last. So yeah.
Yeah, well said. I mean, it definitely seemed to be a momentum killer to be that close and then just couldn't quite get it in. And then Tiffin sort of kicked it into high gear on defense, particularly. Just not allowing any passes or pushes, pretty much immediately chowed as soon as CIU crossed the line. And then that, of course, led to some offense. So, well fought by the CIU Rams. Can't say enough how proud we are of these guys and their ability to step up to the occasion time and time again. They will dearly be missed. But, you know, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't say that they didn't give it a good effort, especially over the past, 3 or 4 years. They've had a lot of great games and a lot of good moments. So congrats to these guys and everything that they've done.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they're the only. I mean, it's hard to kind of say you're a team that's made the playoffs in your league every single year since the inception of the organization. I think that's something to be proud of, and that's an impact that's going to last into the next kind of wave of esports athletes. So all because of these 3 guys. So yeah, I think we're going to take a short break. We'll be back. Stick around. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back to interview Gingy. So stick around for that.
control. Are we playing this game? Oh, are we playing this game? Are you too afraid? Or are you giving in? Let the games begin. 'Cause I play to win. I playing this game.
Welcome back. We are joined here by Genji, the legend himself, and we just have a few questions that we want to ask him, get his thoughts, and just hear from him. So, Glitch, I think you have the first question.
Yeah. Genji, congrats on the amazing season, your amazing career. I just kind of want to first hit off this week. You guys had an amazing win last week, your first round of playoffs. You guys are a team that's, every single year you've made playoffs and you've had a postseason win. What was the game plan going into this week, coming off a high emotional win? What was the game plan going into this week?
Really kind of just piggyback off of what we did last week. We played really well as a team last week, and that's kind of something that we really wanted to kind of carry into this next game. I feel like we did well as a team. There were times, obviously, little mistakes against a team that good are very crucial versus whenever we play your average Joe team. We can get away with stuff like that, but not so much with that team, just because of how skilled they were. But I do think we still played really well as a team. In the Discord, we were still sitting in there laughing, joking around, stuff like that. Kind of the morale was high. We obviously the games were close every single game. They just didn't turn out the way we wanted it to.
For sure.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate you guys as well for the season and the effort. We saw, I think, an improvement definitely from the last time y'all played them. So you could tell there was a difference. My question for you would be, you've been a dual sport athlete at this school. I'm sure you've learned a lot of things over your time doing both sports, but what's one thing out of those things that you learned that you're going to take with you moving on to the next phase of your life?
Yeah, that's a great question. Really, the biggest thing, I'd say there's probably two things. Number one, the biggest thing is obviously don't take it for granted. Dude, my college experience flew by. It feels like just yesterday I was enrolling into classes freshman year, finally living on my own for once in my life, not having to worry about, having my parents down my neck every single day, stuff like that. And then now it's, now I just graduated with my master's, and now I'm I have to actually pay my own bills and stuff, and definitely don't take it for granted, dude. I tell people at work all the time I would go back any day if I could. And then number two really is just hard work pays off, man. I just starting out for baseball, I was never a home run hitter or anything like that. Ended up with 12 home runs at the end of my season or something, or at the end of my career and stuff like that. Worked on my hitting a lot. I think I averaged out at a 290 or 300 batting average. It paid off. And then coming over to esports, when I joined esports and Rocket League and all that stuff, I was a champ 1, I think. Now I'm GT3. I'm the highest ranked on the team. And it's hard work definitely pays off, man. Like it definitely does. So.
Awesome,
that's
man.
great.
And kind of to that, you touched on it a little bit, just at your time here. What is the legacy you want to leave? Not only the CIU Esports organization, but just CIU as a whole.
I mean, again, I could kind of go with like the whole cliche answer, like the whole like hard. I mean, like kind of like how I said on my last one, like hard work pays off, stuff like that. I mean, like I said, started from, Champ 1, went all the way to GC3. Like that's a crazy thing, especially in the time frame that it happened. But really, like another thing, I mean, the one thing like. And it's really opened my eyes a lot as far as since I've been a part of esports is that it's okay to be different from everybody else. So like, being a baseball player, I hung out with a ton of jocks and like I was around all the cool kids and all that stuff. And that's who I kind of like associated myself with, I guess, growing up. And then now like being a part of esports where they aren't jocks, like they're all computer nerds and you know like all this stuff, and it's just like it really opens your eyes and like, dude, like these people act as if they're the same person as the baseball player right down the road. Like everybody not really acts the same, but they all have the same tendencies, they all have the same sense of humor. Like it's okay, but it's okay to be different, man. Like, not everybody, I have the luxury of knowing that, I can go up to anybody and talk to them about anything, and not have to be like, worried that they're not gonna be like, have the same sense of humor and everything as everybody else. Right. Like, it was nice knowing that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I definitely feel that. So, dude, you've been an amazing steward of CIU, and I hope that you feel that because you've made our jobs as casters easy. You've made everybody behind the production. You made their jobs easier just with a controller in your hand. So imagine what's next for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Gingy. We can't thank you enough, man, and best of luck moving forward.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for everything y'all do.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Glad to do it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey, y'all have a good night, man.
You too.
Yeah, you as well.
All right, so that was Gingy. Great example to be set of sort of what he was saying, how you can work your way up. If you are interested in being on the team, shout out to Coach Scotty, Henry Pickles on Discord. He would love to talk to you about it. But once again, we just love being able to cast that guy and his team and the efforts that they put forward. So we will be missing him. And we thank you all for tuning in. But the night is not over. So get ready for round 2 of Rocket League for CIU as Blue Team is coming up.
Yep, so Blue Team is in round 2 of their playoffs. They had a bye. They clinched the number 2 seed. So eager to see what they have in store for us, in store for you guys watching. And 8:30 kickoff. Stream will go live 10 minutes before that. Make sure you're here. Make sure you're supporting them. And we'll see you guys real soon.
Yep. And until that point, Glitch, what do we say?
We always say, charge on, go Rams.
Charge on.
Let's go, baby.
All right. See y'all soon.